So in the last class I had given on homework for you that you have to take input, age input and name input. I'll tell the solution for that later. First let's solve some HackerRank. Okay, let's little brainstorm our brains. Okay, so which we will solve, maybe we'll solve this find digits or extra long factorials. So okay, so what you have to do, sample input is 25, you have to print the 25 factorial, simple program, right? Yes, and for that to happen, okay, we'll select first Java 8. Okay. So as you can see, what is happening here is they are taking one integer and they are giving it to extra long factorials. Now is their main method, yes, it is passing the n value to extra long factorials, but is it collecting anything? No, it is not collecting anything, means I should not return anything. In that extra long factorials method only I have to print everything. Let's see. As you can see, the method is void, right? Yes, the method is void because it is not returning anything, which means here only in the method end I have to print. Okay, I have to print system dot out dot, okay, that long factorial I have to print. Okay, long factorial. Okay, we'll see that later. So whenever I get to an n, what should I do, right? If I want a factorial, definitely I have to use big integer, right? So what's the normal way? Normal way is for loop, right? I have done this already in the class, maybe you can try this. Let's not waste our time. Yes, maybe why to simply leave, maybe some of you are not revised. So I'll tell int I should start from what, 1. Okay, I want factorial, I is less than or equals to given number n, I plus plus, okay, I plus plus, and here I'll tell mul is equals to mul into I, or I can tell fact is equals to fact into I. Okay, I got the factorial and I have to print the fact. So system dot out dot println, I'll tell print the fact, which means I have to create a fact, and here I have to tell the int fact number should be what, it should be 1, not 0. So I believe that this is my code right now, so I'll try to run the code, and when I run the code, okay, cannot find symbol fact. I have created fact, where it is, okay, int, okay, it's fat, okay, sorry, fact. So I'll click run the code. So sample test cases failing, right? Because my output is only this much and it can't go to the bigger output. So immediately I have to do what? I have to think now, okay, I want big integer now. If I want big integer, I have to import? But java.math.star is already imported, no problem. Then I'll try to come here and I have to understand why I'm not getting the output, because you are not printing the correct answer. Why you are not printing the correct answer? Why? Because the fact variable was not able to store that big data. Okay, because every time you are multiplying and storing it in which variable? Fact. So fact is a variable which should be big, right? It should be long, but long data type is not working here. So big integer type that fact should be. Okay, but one I can't tell. What I have to tell? I have to tell if it is a integer. If it is a integer, how do you give the value to a big integer? If it is integer, you have to use big, okay, big integer, okay, dot value of big integer dot value of big integer dot value of 1, big integer dot value of 1. This is how to give the number 1 to big integer, but here spelling wrong, and here is not big integer, it's big integer. Okay, one thing we have done. So next we have to understand that multiply will not work, because that star is a binary operator for numbers, not for objects. Fact is an object here. So how do I tell multiply? Dot multiply. Okay, if you're not understanding this, definitely you have missed my previous class. Clearly I have explained that. Multiply of I. Okay, multiply of I have to tell. Okay, now but you also know that multiply, if it has to happen, left side should be what type? Big integer type. Right side should also be what type? Big integer type. But is this big integer type? No, it's integer type. How do you convert this integer to big integer? Simple, right? Yes, it is big integer dot value of what? Value of 1. Big integer dot value of 1. Done. That's it. Okay, run the code. Let's see. So sample test case pass, submit the code. it's taking some time, right? So okay, all test cases passed. Okay, so that's it, that's the question. So here I don't want you to take screenshot here, because don't take notes here. You should be able to do it on your own. But if you want the name of this, it is extra long factorials. Okay, I'll close that. So there is one more thing, that is find digits. So what they are telling, let's see. An integer d is a divisor of an integer n. Okay, so let's see the question, right? An integer d is a divisor of an integer n if the remainder is 0. Yes, so they're telling what's the meaning of remainder there, right? Okay, fine. So this is basic. An integer d is a divisor of an integer n, okay, if d divides n, right? Which means 2 is a divisor of an integer 10 if 2 divides 10. Simple. Okay, so what they're telling is, if you have 10, if you have, let me go to the drawing. Okay, design, insert, pens. Okay, so yes, so 10 divided by 2, if I tell, this 2 is called as a divisor. Okay, this 2 is called as a divisor. Why? 2 completely divides 10, right? Say 10 mod 2, don't think it is 0? Yes, which means 2 is a divisor of 10. Okay, that's what they are telling. Okay, they are telling the same thing only here, that d is a divisor of n if that d is completely divisible by n. Okay, so given an integer n, find, okay, for each digit that make up the integer, determine whether it's a divisor. Count the number of divisors occurring within the integer. I know this is little big, that's why when you're not understanding, you just go to the sample input and output, maybe you'll understand. Explanation, you see the explanation. So for the input 12, so there are, what's the meaning of this 2 here? The meaning of 2 is two numbers they are going to enter, the first number, the second number. That's the meaning of 2. What is this 2 here? For the number 12, 2 is the output. For the number 1012, 3 is the output. How? Let's see. The number 12 is broken into 2 digits. Yes or no? 12 can be broken into 2 digits, 1 and 2. Okay, so when 12 is divided by either of those 2 digits, the remainder is 0. What they are telling is, let's see the next one. 1012 is broken into how many digits? 4 digits. Yes or no? And out of this 1012, how many digits can divide the given number completely? That's what they are asking. Okay, so answer is 3. Let's see how, right? What I'll do is, I'll go back here and I'll tell number 1012. Out of this 1012, we have to check the individual digits. Okay, 1012 by 1. Can it divide? Is the remainder 0? Can it divide completely? Yes, remainder is 0. Okay, then 1012, the first number is over. The second number 1012 by 0. Is the remainder 0? Anything by 0 is an exception, so it is not. Then 1012 divided by this number 1. Yes, it is possible. Then finally 1012 divided by 2. 1012 divided by 2 I will do. Yes, this is also divisible, So there are how many tick marks here? 3 tick marks. 3 numbers can divide it completely. Okay, that is what it is. For the number 12, okay, 12 divided by the first character 1. 12 by 1, it is possible. Then 12 by the second character 2, that is also possible, right? Yes. Then there was a number that is 111. Okay, 111 divided by the first number 1, possible. 111 divided by the second number 1, that is also done. Then 111 divided by third number 1. So how many tick marks are there? 3 tick marks are there. That is what they are trying to tell you from that time, like that. Watch here. See, for the number 111, its answer is 3, right? That's it. Okay, so for the number 12 it is 2, for the number 1012 it is 3. So we have to write a program for this. So Java 8. So okay, find digits. So what should I do now? I have to think, right? I have to think. So here I'll write clear. So if I have 1 0 1 2, what I have is a number. What I have is a number. First, what should I do? Definitely I have to convert to string. I have to convert to string. Why I have to convert to string? Because I got to know hey, that 1012 divided by 1, 1012 divided by 0, 1012 divided by 1, then 1012 divided by 2. See, can you see 1012? Yes. I have to access individual characters and divide them. Once I got to know that I have to access individual characters, number must be converted to string so that this can happen. Okay, fine. So let's see, let's see. What should I do and how do you convert? You already know, right? Empty string plus n. Once you converted, what you have to do? You have to take the character out. So I'll write a for loop now. Okay, I'll go back. I'll write a for loop. In the for loop, int I should start from 0. I is less than s dot length I plus plus. Okay. So what should happen here? Watch here. What should happen is I have to first check hey if, right? If I'll undo this. Undo is not there. Okay, let me erase then. Okay, let me erase. Okay. So first I have to check if that n value, right? First I have to check the given n value. Given n value, is it, I should not divide now, agree or not? What's the use of division here? I should not divide. I have to check whether the remainder is 0 or not. Is it completely dividing or not? So n mod, okay, n mod what? N mod what? Okay, let me tell n mod single digit. Let me tell d here. What's the meaning of d? D means one digit. So I'll tell that d is of integer type. Int d is equals to s dot char at of I will tell. But you think and tell me, is it valid or invalid? Logically, syntactically not a problem, but logically there is a problem. Why? Because when you give a character to a integer type, typecasting will happen. So character of I, it's not 1, it is character 1. When you give a character 1 to a integer, ASCII of 1, 49 is given to D. And 49 you should not divide anything by 49, Okay, so what you have to do, as I told you, s dot character of I minus 48 you do, that answer you give it to D. Okay, so character subtract with 48, so 49 minus 48 is integer 1, that integer 1 you give it to D. I have already taught this in the previous class, so it's okay. Now you got integer 1, so we have to check, hey, is this equal to 0, right? What you have to check? You have to check whether n mod d, is it equal to 0? If it is equal to 0, c plus plus, count plus plus, I have to tell, that's it. Okay, so what happens now? Let's see, I'll change the color here. See, the index is 0, 1, 2 and 3. When my I value is 0, s dot character of 0 is character 1. Character 1 is converted to integer and given to D. 1012 mod 1, is it 0? Yes, C++ will execute. Okay, and like that it will continue, and wherever it will divide, it will give me the answer. So let's go to this normal program, right? Yes. What I have to print? I have to print the C value. So I have to create one int C. Int C is equal to 0. Okay, then I want an integer n value. Integer n is equal to, let me write 12. Okay, 12. Then I'll create one string s. String s is equals to empty string plus n. Okay, empty string plus n. Then I'll write a for loop where int I should start from 0. I should be less than s dot length, because I want to access all the characters of the string s, I plus plus. So here, yes, I have to tell a int d, first from the character get the integer. How? S dot char of I got the integer, I got the character minus 48, I will tell, so that I'll get the integer. Now I have to check if this n value mod d, okay, single digit, the big n value mod single digit, is it equal to 0? If it's equal to 0, C++ I will tell, and that will be our program. Let's see. Press any key to continue. When execute, answer is 2. Yes, for 12 answer is 2, as you have seen, and for the number 111, right, what will be the answer? Answer should be 3. Answer should be 3. Okay, so everything is correct, everything is correct. We got the correct output. Let's see. I'll go back here and I'll write the same thing. So let me just copy and paste from the editor, right? So I have the n value, I have to tell c value, so I'll cut it and I'll paste it here so that I can copy the c values at a time, and yeah, till here. Okay, let's see print also. I'll copy this and yeah, here I'll paste. So now the thing is, you have to think, okay, should you print c or should you return that count? Don't think the return type of this method is integer, which means don't print c. Okay, you have to tell return c. Return c I will tell. Okay, so it will return. Yes, everything is done. That's it. Run the code. Let's see whether you are getting proper output or not. Sample test case is failing. Why? Let's see. What exception? Arithmetic exception, divide by 0. Okay, let's see why it is. Why? Because when I give the number 1024 or 1012, okay, if I compilation no problem, but when I execute, see, we got this exception, right? Why? Because when you access the second character, watch here, right? When your I becomes 1, what is h dot character of 1? H dot character of 1 is character 0. What is character 0 minus 48? Integer 0. Where you are storing integer 0? In the D. Okay, and I told you where? In the prime number class. Okay, in the HCF GCD class, that any number divided by 0 is also exception. Okay, and n mod 0 is also exception. Yes, so now since our D value is 0, don't think we will get an exception? Yes, we will definitely get an exception. So what should I do? I have to tell that here do only, you should execute only this if the D is not 0. That one extra value I have to tell, because if the D is 0, I'll get an error. So here I'll tell, you have to execute this if. Okay, you have to execute that if, or okay, yes, we can tell like this, that I'll cut it. If some condition is true, then only execute the previous code I will tell. Okay, what condition? The D should be greater than 0. Don't write greater than equal to 0. Okay, it should be greater than 0. Now if I compile and execute, I will not get that problem. 1012 answer is 3. Now I'll tell you one thing. Okay, actually this concept you already know. I think you are applying it for the first time now. So no, don't write if inside a if. Okay, if inside a if is not good. Especially if you have only 2 statements, there is only 2 statements, right? Yes, then this is not good. Then what you have to do is, I'll tell you, I'll undo this, I'll remove this if. Okay, what you have to do is, you have to write here D is greater than 0 and yes, what's the meaning of this? I have told you, this and operator. What will and operator do? Right, this is a logical operator, right? Yes, the control will go only to the right if this first condition is true. Agree or not? Only if this is true, then only the control will go here. If this is false, will the control go here? No. Yes, this is what we want. Okay, so I'll check. Now imagine the D value is 0. If the D value is 0, is this condition true? Is 0 greater than 0? No. No means, will the control come to the second part? No. Simple. But let's imagine my D value is 5. Is 5 greater than 0? Yes. Yes means then only it will compare the second condition. Okay. Now definitely we will not get exception. Why? Because only if the D value is greater than 0, then the control will come here. And if the D value is greater than 0, I will never get an exception. So in this way also it's better to write. Okay, it's better to write in this way. And if I compile and execute, yes, I got this output. Okay, so take these notes. Okay, fine. So we'll try the same thing there also. Here in the code I will tell one condition is there. What's the condition? The D value should be greater than 0 and not or and. That's it. Let's try. Run the code. So test case 0. Okay, submit the code. all test cases passed. Okay, great. So one thing for you guys, you can try this on your own. Try it. Modified Kaprekar numbers. Okay, Kaprekar, however you want to pronounce it, your wish. So modified that number. Okay, that number. So yeah, you try to read this. Try to solve it. It's not difficult at all, but definitely you have to use methods after methods, not inbuilt method. Mostly you have to create your own methods because there are many things to do here. Okay, so try to do it. Okay, so our hacker rank for today is done. So let me tell you about the solution for the last problem. So last time I had told, right, let me first write the program, then I'll on the screen recording. So let's try to understand what is happening here. Okay, see, whatever input you enter, right, whatever you type on the keyboard is stored in the buffer. Okay, so when I compile and execute this, let's see what will happen, right? I'll compile and I'll execute. When I execute, what has happened is first it created one scanner object, then it printed enter a number. After printing enter a number, then the cursor, okay, I want you to understand, the control is it's locked here, it's locked. Okay, the control will not execute the below statement. Yes, whenever it tells cannot next int, it is locked, means it is waiting for you to enter. So you have to understand why it will wait for you to enter. Why it will wait is, see, it has created one buffer, right? It has created one buffer. That buffer is empty. That is why it will wait. For example, as soon as you told scanner is called new scanner, what has happened is, okay, now your scan is pointing to one buffer like this. It is pointing to an object. Did you enter anything? No. Can you see here empty? Yes. Because it is empty, it is waiting for you to enter. Now you had entered 12. As soon as you enter 12, that 12, okay, it will be command store here. Then what you are pressing? You are pressing the enter. Yes. So that's why that whenever you press enter, the data from here is not copy pasted, it is cut pasted. I want you to understand, it is cut pasted, it cut. Okay, why cut paste, why not copy paste? See, first of all you have to understand it's a buffer, right? Buffer is not meant to store the data for a long time. If you want to store the data for a long time, it is hard disk. Buffer is meant for faster input, right? Whatever user enters, you have to take it. As soon as you took that input, do you have use of that input in the buffer? No, you have that input in a variable, right? So why do you want the buffer to keep it? So buffer's job is not that. Buffer's job is just to take it from the user, immediately process it and give it. As soon as it gives, there is no more use of this buffer data. It will clear by itself. Okay, so it is cut paste will happen. So this becomes empty. All of you knew this, I guess. But you have to understand one thing, that I can do like this also. Imagine what I'll do is, if I click enter, if I execute, enter a number, it is telling. I will enter 12 and I will enter 55, right? Yes, I can do that. I will enter 66. The lock will be there till I press the enter button. Since I press the enter button, what will happen? Let me tell you. First, because I entered 12, 55 and 66, that 12, sorry, okay, so 12, 55 and 66 will be there in the buffer like this. How it will be there in the buffer? See, it will be there in the buffer in the string format. I want you to understand that. In the string format, it will be there in the buffer like this, in the string format. What will happen now? Now what will happen is, when you press the enter button, right? When you press the enter button, what's the method name? What's the method name? Next int, right? So what it will do? When you press the enter button, it will give you the next int, means first integer part it will try to give. What's the first integer part here? 12. So 12 is removed from here. I want you to understand. 12 is removed from here. So the string gets updated now like this. It's removed from here and given to the variable a. Variable a becomes 12, right? Variable a becomes 12. But don't think some things are still present in the buffer only. Yes, this is what will happen. Okay, this will happen normally. These things will be still present in the buffer because you told next int. You told next, give me the next integer part. You are told. It has given the first integer part from the buffer. First it has given. Other thing it will be kept as it is. Okay. So if I compile and execute that, okay, if I press the enter button, it will print only 12 because in the 12 only a has come, right? Yes. So then next what? Next let's see. What I'll do is, okay, so 12 is taken by this fellow, right? 12 is taken by this fellow. But what if I have to take 55? if you want to take 55, hey, again you tell scan dot next int, again you tell scan dot next int. That's why I'll press here like this, again I'll tell scan dot next int, and I'll tell it for b. So I'll print the message like this: a value is plus a and b value is plus b. Okay, so that we'll get to know what is there. So I compiled, and when I execute, I'll enter 12 space 55 space 66, right? Okay. Now if I press enter, what will happen? Let's see. Let me erase this. Okay, so what did I enter now? In the double quotes, 12 space 55 space 66, I have entered this. Okay, then what is there? There is something called as next int. Whenever next int executes, it will first remove one number from the buffer and it will give it to a. Yes, then after that control executes, control will come here. Okay, now think here, I told in the previous time, that is when control comes to next int, it will lock. I have told it will lock, means it will wait for you. If the buffer is empty, then only it will wait for you. But tell me, is the buffer empty now? No, right? In the buffer there is still some more numbers. Yes, so it will not wait for you. Directly it will take the next number 55 and it will store in B. It will store in B. So 55 is also gone. After that, what is there in the program? Nothing. You are printing A value and B value. But in the buffer, is there still 66? Yes, 66 is still there. So let's check. Okay, I'll execute this program. As you can see, A value is 12, B value is 55. Okay, let me just give some more examples here. Now what I'll do is I'll enter only two values. Okay, I'll enter only 12 and 55. I'll enter only two things. Okay, so I have entered two things. So what will happen now? Now the control, yes, as soon as I write 12 and 55, okay, that 12 and 55 will be there here. Okay, that 12 and 55 will be stored as a string here. 12 space 55 is stored as a string. And what happens? Control will come here. It will print enter a number. Immediately it will execute this line. Now when it's executing this line, okay, when it's executing this line, it is waiting for you. Okay, because till now you have not entered anything. If you have not entered anything, nothing is there in the buffer, right? Nothing is there in the buffer. Now it is waiting for you. You entered 12 and 55. You entered like this. Then you pressed what button? You press the enter button. When you press the enter button, the first 12 is going to the A variable. Then what else is there? Then again the control will come here. See, when the control comes here, tell me, will it wait for you to enter? No, it will not wait for you, because in the buffer the number is there, so it will take that number and give it to B. Okay, but what will happen again if I tell give next int to C, right? C scan on next int. What will happen now? Okay, let's see. So now what will happen is, so 12 is given to A, so it is deleted from here. 55 is given to B, it is deleted from here. Yes, after giving these two, after executing these two lines, the control will come here now. When the control comes to the scan dot next int, tell me, is the buffer empty or is the buffer containing something? If the buffer is empty, if the buffer is empty, the compiler will wait for you to enter something, because there is nothing to take, right? There is nothing to take. So there was 12 and there was 55. Next int took this, next int took this. There is a third next int, but is there a third number? No, and that's why you have to understand it will wait for you here. Okay, it will wait for you. It will wait for you. Okay, let's see. I'll try to compile and execute. Compile and executed. Enter number 12 and 55. I'll enter. See, yes, what has happened? 12 is given to A, 55 is given to B. Then when the control comes here, it will wait for you, right? It will wait for you. Why? Because buffer is empty. Yes. Now you enter something. Maybe I'll tell 77. I'll enter 77. Yes, I hope you have understood here. Okay. So this is what is actually happening. So why you have to understand that? See, when you tell next int or next double, next float, what is actually happening is, how will it know that, if you write 12, why it is not including 15 also? Why it is not thinking that, hey, 1215 is a continuous number? Why it is not thinking like that? Yes, there is a space, right? Yes. So whenever there is a space, or if there is a enter button, don't you think after 15 you will hit enter button? Yes. If there is a space or enter button, if you press enter button or if there is a space, it is considered as the end of a token. Okay, it is considered as end of a token. So till till it sees a space or till it sees that enter button, it will try to take that input. Okay. So why that problem is happening in the next line, I'll tell you. Okay, I'll clear this. See, your next line is a special method. Okay, so only next line. See, I'll tell next int, next double. I'll tell. Watch here. I'll write next int. Okay, so I'll remove all this and yes, I want to show to you that if I compile, right? If I compile and if I execute, enter a number, I'll enter space. It will not take that. Yes or no? It will not take the space. I'll hit the enter button. It will not take the enter button also. Yes, I must enter a number only. If I enter a number, then only this method will stop. Okay. Yes, every method is like this, but scan.nextLine is not like this. That's why scan.nextLine is a little different method. I'll tell about that later. Not only next int, next double also same thing. Okay, next double, or you can tell next is also same thing. Next is a method which takes a string. So let me write like this. It's a method which takes a string. So if I compile and execute, I'll hit the enter button. It will not take it. It will not take the enter button. I'll hit spaces, but also it will not take. Even though space is a string, right? But it will not take. Yes, I understand one thing. Next int, next float, next double, next big integer, whatever next is there other than next line, all these next int, next float, next, all this works the same way, but next line is not like that. Watch here, this next method is not taking anything. Yes, it will take some word only, right? But now if I write next line, right? Watch here, if I write next line, what this method will do. Let's see. See, I will execute. I have executed, right? Now I will hit the enter button. See, I press the enter button, it is taking the enter button also. Agree? I have pressed the enter button, it is stopping there. It is not waiting for me to, enter one string. Not only that, if I write space, right? If I write space, it will take space. But next method did not take space. Integer did not take space. No other method takes space. Only next line takes a space. Okay? Now, what I want you to understand is how this is working, right? How this is working, I'll tell you. See, when you tell next line and when I execute, I will not enter anything. I will not enter space also. But if I press enter button, okay, if I write 12, what is there? What is stored in the buffer? If I write 12, don't you think string 12 is stored in the buffer? Yes, string 12 is stored in the buffer. But right now, did I tell string 12? No, I have not told string 12. I have not told anything. If I don't tell anything, don't you think empty string will be present here? Don't you think empty string will be present in the buffer? If you enter something, string 12 will be present. If I enter string high will be present. If I don't enter anything, if I enter 12, it will tell 12. Okay. But if I, where is the code? Yes. If I simply execute, if I simply press enter button, did I press anything? No. I told enter button. Okay. Now what will happen? It will print a value is what? That is empty string there. You are not able to see it, but it is actually one empty string. Yes. So what you have done is you have pressed the enter button. Yes, whenever you press enter button, it will check, hey, before this enter button or before the space, which string is there, it will check. Yes, there is a string called as empty string. It will print that empty string. Now you are thinking, right? How are you making sure that a is empty string only? Because let me write a dot length. Don't you think empty string length is 0? Yes. So if I execute, I'll hit enter, a value is 0, means the length of the string is 0. When the length of the string will be 0? When there are no characters, means it's an empty string there. Okay, so empty string will be gone. Okay, this part also you have understood? Yes. Now let's try to combine now. Let's try to combine. Why and what will happen, right, when I try to print the name and the age. Let's say name is plus name, and here the string should be name, but yesterday I told you before the name we should take one age. So I'll tell enter age, and next I'll tell enter a name. Name will be taken by next int, and I'll tell age will be taken by next int. I'll tell age is a variable and is of the integer type. So name is name, and let me tell age is age. Okay, age is age. So this is done, right? So this is to take the create a scanner, take the age input. Okay, so enter a age. Age should be okay. Age should be what here? First I have to take age only, right? So I'll cut this. So first I have to take age. Yeah, this is fine now. Enter a name. Name I'll take it, scanner next line, and I'll print. Now what is happening here? Let's see. Enter a age 12. What is happening? But it will properly execute if I tell enter the age 12, but I'll only enter the name here, that is, Dheeraj Kumar. I'll enter something like this. Now it is telling properly, age is 12, name is Dheeraj Kumar. It is telling properly, right? Now why it is telling properly, I will tell. Okay, first let me tell you why this is working properly. So when the control comes here, yes, it will create a scanner object. Yes, then it will print to the screen enter a age. Then as soon as it prints, it will wait for you. Why? Because whenever first time scan out next int comes, it will wait for you because buffer is empty. Now the buffer is empty, right? So let me create the scanner here only. Okay, it is empty now. It is empty. So what you entered is, maybe I'll enter my age is 12 string, and suddenly I have entered with the space Dheeraj. Okay, when it is asking for age, that time will have printed everything. Are you understanding? I am not allowing it to ask for the name separately. When it is asking for the age, that time will I am storing the age also, the name also. So let me write Dheeraj Kumar like this, and I'll close this double quotes, So this whole thing is a string now. Okay, so all of this will happen when the control is in this line, right? When it is waiting for the number, I am entering number also, string also. Okay, you have pressed the enter button. When you press the enter button, what will happen? When you press the enter button, the integer part is given to the age variable. So the first integer part, this only 12 is cutted from here. Okay, 12 is cutted from here and given to the age variable. But don't you think there is a space here? Yes, there is a space, Dheraj space Kumar. Okay, now what will happen? Now what will happen is control will come here. It will tell enter a name. It will print enter a name. But after printing the enter a name, will it wait for you to enter a name? It will not wait for you. Why? Because the buffer is full. There is something in the buffer. If there is something in the buffer, that it will take directly. It will take that. It will take that. After taking that, it will give it to which variable? Name. And we are printing age and name. I hope you have understood what is happening. Okay, so if I execute 12 and Dheeraj Kumar, I will tell. So see, name is 12, age is 12, name is Dheeraj Kumar. If you can notice, okay, this is a space which we have given and space from the input. Okay, so now let's understand what is the problem when I write separately. So when I execute age is 12, when I press enter button, why it is happening like that? What's the name here? Yes, nothing. There is nothing here. Let's try to understand. So for that, again, what I have to do is I have to show you. So let's see here. I will tell draw. So this is, let's imagine this is our buffer. Okay. So in the buffer, when the control is coming here, scanner object, no, that time this scan buffer is created like this. This is our buffer. Okay. Then you are printing to the screen enter a age. Okay, now user is getting to know, okay, I have to enter a age. When the control comes here, now don't you think your buffer, can you see your buffer is empty? Yes, your buffer is empty. So it will wait for you. It will wait for you. When it's waiting for you, what you are entering? You are entering what? 12, which is a string. You are entering 12, which is a string. Tell me, are you entering only 12 or are you entering the enter keyword also? Scanner scan is equal to new scanner system dot in. What's the meaning of system dot in? Whatever you type on the keyboard should be coming to the buffer you are telling. Whatever is coming to the keyboard should be coming where? To the buffer you are telling. Should be coming to the scanner buffer. You pressed number 1 which came gone to the buffer. You press number 2 which also went to the buffer. Don't think you press enter key which is there in the keyboard. Yes, whatever is there in the keyboard, if you press anything, it will go to the buffer. So what you can understand is, here there is a enter keyword here. There is a enter keyword also. Okay, there is a enter keyword. Okay. So what will happen now? Now, okay, since it will execute scan.next int, it will take the integer part. Okay. Out of the string 1, 2, if you take out 1, 2, what is remaining? Think and tell me. You had 5 apples. I took all the 5 apples. What do you have? You have nothing. In the string, nothing is nothing but empty string. I want you to understand that, right? Imagine there was a string with the character A. You have removed the character A. Is there any character now? No. No means, no character means empty string, right? So, when you try to remove this 1, 2, when you try to remove 1, 2, what happened is, yes, string 1, 2 is gone, but empty string is present. I want you to understand that. What is present? Empty string is present. Because next int, what will it do? It will take the number 12 and give it to the age. It took the number 12, which means in the string, is there any 12 now? No, in the string there is no 12. The string is empty string now. Okay, the string is empty string. But now it will ask, hey, enter a name, it is asking. It is printing enter a name. But tell me, will it wait for you to enter a name? It will not wait for you. Why? Because scan.nextLine is a method which takes this empty string also. Next int will take the string 12, but scan.nextLine will take the empty string also, right? Just now I showed you, scan.nextLine will take empty string. That is why it will not wait for you, it will take that empty string. That is why empty string is given to name. Empty string is given to name. Is it clear? That's why if I print name.length, I'll get to know the answer is 0. Is it clear? Yes. So, your next line will take the empty string also. Imagine that I didn't have next line, I had next here, I had next. If I had next, tell me, will this next method, will this take empty string? It will not take empty string. That is why if I write next, it will wait for me. Okay. So, let me show it to you. If I write next, right, if I write next, tell me, don't you think it will wait for me? Yes. 12. I enter 12. See, enter a name. It is waiting for me. Why it is waiting for me? Again, if I want to show you, watch here. Why? Because there was a buffer. You entered 12, which is a string. You press enter button. You told next int method. Next int took what? It took integer only. But don't you think string is remaining there? Yes, empty string is remaining. And when the control comes to the next method now, next method I am talking about. When the control comes to the next method, it will wait for you. Why it will wait? Because this is not taken by the next method. Next method can't take space. Next method can't take empty string. That is why your next method will wait, because this will not take. But if I write next line, this is taken by the next line. So I hope you have understood here. So that's why let's write next line here. Next line. Okay. So did you understand why the problem is there? So if I execute enter a name, age, I entered 12. 12 number is gone, but empty string will still be present. So it will tell like this. Now I want you to understand one thing. Okay, what is that? That is when you tell next line. Okay, when you tell next line, see, when you told scan next int. Okay, let's imagine that this is our buffer, right? There was a 12. Okay, there was a 12, right? And you told scan next int. What will happen? Only the 12 is gone. But don't you think here, if the 12 is gone, empty string will be present? Yes. If you tell next, imagine that you entered name Dheeraj, and you told next method. When you tell next method, what will happen? The name is removed from here, but again what will be present? The empty string will be present. Again empty string will be present. Okay, you tell next double. Imagine that you entered double, 12.23 you entered. When you tell next double, this double value is removed from here, but what is present in the buffer? Empty string is still present. Is it clear? But I want you to understand one thing. Imagine that there is a high, okay? There is high here. And you have used what now? You have used next line method. When you use next line method, I want you to understand that not only high with string is also removed. Which means if you use next line, what will happen? Don't think empty string will be present. No, nothing will be present. Your next line will completely clear the buffer. If you tell next int, buffer is not cleared, empty string is still present. But if you use next line, your buffer is completely wiped. Okay, it's completely cleaned. Your buffer is completely cleaned. Is it clear? So what I have to do now is, okay, don't you think I want to take age and name? So first I will take one, I will enter one number. Okay, what will happen? So first I have to use which method? I have to tell next int. When I tell next int, what will happen? Yes, I will give to the variable a. Yes. So this 12 is removed from here because I told next int. Okay, but what is there? Now there is empty string. Yes. But I know that I can't tell next line now, because if I try to tell next line, it will give me empty string. That's why what I will do. Okay, before that you think here, don't think there was a number 12. Number 12 I removed because next int method cuts and pastes. Agree or not? What will next int method do? Cutting, it will cut and it will paste. It will cut and it will paste. That's why what I will do is, if I have to take 12 from here, which method will take the integer part? I have to think. Okay, next int method will take the integer part. That's why I will use next int so that it will delete the integer from the buffer. Now you think and tell me, don't think I have to delete empty string from the buffer also? Which is the method which will delete the empty string from the buffer? There is only one method which removes the empty string from the buffer. That is next line. Next line is a method. What it will do? It will remove the empty string from the buffer. It will remove. Now don't you think it will try to paste it to some variable? It will try to paste it to some variable. But watch here. I am not pasting it anywhere. I am not pasting. I am not telling give it to a new variable b. I am just telling next line. Next line will take the content from the buffer. But did I assign it to any variable? No, I will not assign also. I will not assign. Is it clear? I am just taking the unwanted thing and that's it. I am not putting it anywhere. So as you can see, this next line method will take the unwanted thing, that is the empty string it will take. But am I storing this empty string anywhere? I am not storing. Is it clear? Now after doing this equation, now don't you think my buffer is empty now? My buffer is empty. How can you guarantee buffer is empty? Because if you execute next line method, definitely the buffer will be empty. Since now our buffer is empty, now I will take the name. Okay. Now if I write again next line, again second time, tell me, will it take empty string or something from here? It can't take anything because nothing is there. Then now it will wait for you to enter something. Okay. Now it is waiting for you to enter one string. You entered one string. You entered, Dheeraj and Kumar. You entered, and there is something like this. Now what will happen? Since you are telling next line, what will happen? The complete string from here, along with the empty string, it will again clear. It will again clear now. But now this time, I am giving it to a variable called as name. This time I am giving it a variable called as name. Okay, that's it. As you can see, we have to use one dummy next line. Why? Why? Because I want to take empty string but not paste anywhere. Okay, so okay. See, if I use name here, right? If I use name.length, you will get to know that it has been printing that empty string only. It has been printing that empty string. Enter age 12. It is not allowing me to take the name. But now, watch here. What I'll do is, because as soon as I enter one age, don't you think, next int method will do what? Next int method will take the integer part. But who will take that empty string part? Yes, to take the empty string part, I will tell like this. I'll tell scan dot next line. I have told scan dot next line, but am I giving it to any variable? No. Yes, we can write like this. So now you see our program will execute. Now I will execute this. Enter a age. I will enter 12. After I enter 12, empty string is removed and there is empty buffer now. Now it is waiting for me. Dheeraj Kumar is there. Yes, we got our output, you know. We got our output. If you want, you can take the notes here. Okay, fine. So I want you to understand that. So as a best practice, as a good practice, what you do is, if you are not lazy, what you do is, you as soon as whenever you use any method, immediately use next line. Okay, immediately use next line. Imagine you want to take salary, right? You want to take salary. Then what you have to do? Maybe salary, let me tell marks. Okay, let me tell marks. So if you are taking about marks, I'll undo. I will, yes, I will tell like this. Enter marks. Okay, marks. So marks is, I'll tell by next double. Next double. Okay, next double. So I have to store it in which variable? I have to store it in mark of double, right? Double. Yes. See, you have to write scan dot next line. Else what will happen? I'll tell you. Okay. So, and I have to print age, name, and double also. You know, mark also. Mark. Okay, done. Let's try to understand what is happening, right? Okay, so I will take this pen from here. Okay, so first the control will come to the scanner, right? So empty scanner is created. Enter a age. Okay, it is displayed to the user. Next int. Tell me, this is my buffer, right? This is my buffer. Is my buffer containing something? What? Not something. You told integer part. Is it containing integer part? No. It will wait for you to enter the integer part. It is waiting for you. And when it is waiting, you told you 12. Age is 12. And again you press a what button? Enter button. Yes. So now what will happen is, since you enter 12, it is in the string 12 format. String 12. You told next int. 12 is removed from here. But don't you think empty string is still present? Yes. Empty string is still present. Then after this line executed, this line will execute now. What will scan out next line do? Scan out next line will remove everything from the buffer and it will make it pure, it will make it clear. Then again the control will come here, enter the marks. It will print enter the marks, but when the control comes here, don't you think your buffer is empty now? It will again wait for you to enter. It will wait for you to enter. Okay. Now it is waiting for you. So it will tell enter a name, right? Enter a marks. Enter a marks. It is telling, and next double. Is there any double part here? No. You are entering 12.22 double. Your marks you have entered 12.22. Again you press enter button. There is in the string we have 12.22. So because of this next double, this everything is erased, but not everything. Empty string is still there. Empty string is there. Okay, because when you tell next int, when you tell next double, when you tell next float, when you tell next boolean, when you tell next also, empty string will be present. Who will remove empty string? Only next line method will remove empty string. Okay, but after that, after taking the next double, now it is displaying the last message, enter a name. When it tells enter a name, tell me which method is there? Next line method is there. Don't you think next line method, it will remove this empty string? Yes. So empty string is given to whom now? Empty string is given to name. That should not happen. Okay. Empty string should not be given to name. First I have to delete empty string, then I have to give it. Okay. I hope it is clear. So that problem will happen only when there is a next line method. Okay, when there is a next line method. For example, if I remove this, it is not necessary that between integer and between double you have to use next line. No, nothing like that. You can take integer, you can take double. Okay, how? I will tell you. There will be no problem here. Only when you use scan out next line, that time problem will come. Okay, so watch here. I will show you why there is no problem. So as we know that this is our buffer, right? This is our buffer. Enter your age. It will display. And now will it wait for me? Yes, it will wait. Why? Because it wants the next integer part. Is there any integer part here? No. It will wait. So it is waiting. I'll enter the 12, which is string like this. And next int will take the 12. If it takes the 12, what is remaining? Empty string is remaining. Now the control will come to the enter the marks. It will display enter the marks. Now When the control comes to next double, tell me, will it lock, means will it wait for you to enter the double, or will it take that whatever is there in the buffer? It can't take whatever is there in the buffer. Why? Because next double will not take empty string. Next double wants some number, right? Yes, so next double will not take empty string. If it doesn't take empty string, it will wait for you to enter the double value. It will wait for you to enter the double value. So you are entering the double value. So 12.22 will appended here, 12.22. Then when you tell enter, so double value is gone from here, but still empty string is there, okay, and that empty string is taken by next line, which is given to the name, okay. So that's what is happening. So definitely what will happen now is I will get name and marks, but I'll not, I'll get the age and marks. Age is 12, and if I write mark is 99.88, and it will not see age is 12, name it will not tell, but it will tell mark. So if I want to tell name, what should I tell? I have to tell, hey, if you use next line for the first time, definitely it will take empty string from the previous ones. If you tell next line for the first time, previous next int, next double are there, right? From that it will take empty string. So what I'll tell scan dot next line here like this, so that whatever you have used, previously number you have told, next int you have told, next double, no problem. But before calling to the next line, I have to make sure that this next line doesn't get empty string. That is why this next line will take the empty string. Do only this, okay? You have to do this only and only. Before the next line, is there any other method? Then only, okay? So I'll compile and I'll execute. Enter the age 12, okay? So I'll enter again. Enter the age 12. Enter the marks 55.55. Enter. See, it is waiting for me. Enter the name. I'll enter the name like this. As you can see, we got the output. Okay. Yes. Pause the screen. Take the notes here. Okay. Don't take screenshot. Please write something. Don't be too lazy. Okay. So see why I told, because imagine that you are taking only the name, right? You are taking only the name as an input. If you are taking only the name as an input, enter a name you are telling, then don't write this, okay? You should not write like this. Why? Watch here. Okay. Okay. What is that? Okay. There is no variable mark and age. Okay. Okay. So I'll compile and execute. Watch here. I'm taking only name. If you're taking only name, I'll enter. See here. Again it is waiting for me to enter something, Again it is waiting for me. And whatever I enter, it will tell name is DDD. Why? Because whatever you entered, see, this message was displayed. Whatever you entered was taken by this fellow and it's not given to anyone. It deleted it. Then again it waited for you, right? Yes, that is why. So when you're taking only string, you should not tell next line 2 times. Okay. But when you're using this integer and all, that time, once, you have to tell next line method. Okay. Actually, you can write next line here, and next line after each and every double input, integer input, you can write like this, because it will take the integer part, it will take the empty string, then again it will take the double part, again it will take the empty string. Okay, that time like that you can do, right? But it is too tedious to do it, so don't do it. Okay, so please understand, right? So what is the overall thing you have to understand here? Overall thing what you have to understand is, you have to look, in my program, am I using next line method, right? In my program, am I using next line method? Yes. If you are using next line method, then before the next line method, are you using any other method other than next line? Yes. You are using next int method, you are using next double method. If that is the case, okay, so what you have to think? You have to think, first you have to think always, am I using next line method in my program? Yes, I am using next line method in my, if you are not using, no problem. But if you are using, then you have to see one more thing. Okay, is next line method, before the next line method, is there a method which is other than next line? Yes. Before the next line method, there is a method which is other than next line, which is next double. There is a method which is other than next line, that is next int. If that is the case, what you have to do? Just before the scan dot next line, you have to write one dummy scan dot next line. Okay, just before the scan dot next line, you have to write one dummy scan dot next line. Only once, not many times, only once you have to tell. only once you have to tell, that's it. Okay, why? Because see, purposefully they'll, in the hacker rank, they'll give an input like this. They'll give an input where purposefully they'll enter one name first, they'll enter one age, then they'll enter one name. Okay, but what you'll think, since you don't, maybe if you don't know, for the first time you'll think it will work, but it will not work. I hope you understood. In big programs, this is that indirect question which they'll ask. Okay, first they'll tell, first one number is given, then strings are given. Remember, whenever first number is given, immediately that number's empty string you remove. Okay, yes. So that's it for today's class. Okay, tomorrow we'll see more problems. So I hope you like today's class. Okay.